Jaeger-LeCoultre is a luxury Swiss watch and clock manufacturer based in Le Sentier, Switzerland, that dates back to the first half of the 19th century, founded by Antoine LeCoultre in 1833. The brand has hundreds of inventions and over 1,000 calibres to its name, including the World Euro unregistered trademark S smallest calibre, one of the World Euro unregistered trademark S most complicated wristwatches and a timepiece of near-perpetual movement. The company has been a fully owned subsidiary of the Swiss luxury group Richemont since 2000. History == The LeCoultre family == The earliest records of the LeCoultre family in Switzerland date from the 16th century, when Pierre LeCoultre, a French Huguenot, fled to Geneva from Lizy-sur-Locle, France to escape religious persecution. In 1558, he obtained the status of a Euro-UE inhabitant but left the following year to acquire a plot of land in the Valais copyright de Dieu. Over time, a small community formed and in 1612, Pierre LeCoultre Euro unregistered trademark S son built a church there, marking the founding of the village of Le Sentier where the Campania Euro unregistered trademark S manufacturer is still based today. The manufacturer in 1833, following his invention of a machine to cut watch pinions from steel, Antoine LeCoultre founded a small watchmaking workshop in Le Sentier, where he honed his horological skills to create high-quality timepieces. In 1844, he invented the world's most precise measuring instrument at the time, the millionometer, see section 1.4.1, and in 1847 he created a keyless system to rewind and set watches, see section 1.4.2. 4 years later, he was awarded a gold medal for his work on timepiece precision and mechanization at the first Universal Exhibition in London. In 1866, at a time when watchmaking skills were divided up among hundreds of small workshops, Antoine and his son, Élie LeCoultre, established the Valais copyright de Dieu Euro unregistered trademark S first full-fledged manufacturer, LeCoultre & C., pooling their employees a Euro unregistered trademark expertise under one roof. Under this setup, they developed in 1870 the first partially mechanized production processes for complicated movements. By the same year, the manufacturer employed 500 people and was known as the Euro Grand Maison of the Valais copyright de Dieu Euro, and by 1900, it had created over 350 different calibres, of which 128 were equipped with chronograph functions and 99 with repeater mechanisms. From 1902 and for the next 30 years, LeCoultre & C. produced most of the movement blanks for Patek Philippe of Geneva. Jaeger-LeCoultre in 1903, Paris-based watchmaker to the French Navy, Edmond Jaeger, challenged Swiss manufacturers to develop and produce the ultra-thin movements that he had invented. Jacques-David LeCoultre, Antoine Euro unregistered trademark S grandson who was responsible for production at LeCoultre & C., accepted the challenge, giving rise to a collection of ultra-thin pocket watches, including the thinnest in the world in 1907, equipped with the LeCoultre calibre 145, see section 1.4.4. The same year, French jeweler Cartier, one of Jaeger Euro unregistered trademark S clients, signed a contract with the Parisian watchmaker under which all Jaeger movements for a period of 15 years would be exclusive to Cartier. The movements were produced by LeCoultre. Edmond Jaeger also acquired the patent for the atmospherically driven clock Atmos from its inventor Jean La copyright en route and licensed it to LeCoultre from 1936 for France, and in 1937 for Switzerland. The collaboration between Jaeger and LeCoultre led to the company being officially renamed Jaeger-LeCoultre in 1937. However, from 1932 to approximately 1985, due to the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, watches were cased in locally produced cases in North America and sold under the name LeCoultre by the company Vacheron-LeCoultre, a subsidiary of Long & Switner, with slightly different case designs. After 1985, Jaeger-LeCoultre was adopted uniformly worldwide. According to factory records, the last movement to be used in an American LeCoultre watch was shipped out of Le Sentier in 1976. Some collectors and misinformed dealers have made the erroneous claim that American LeCoultre is not associated with Jaeger-LeCoultre Switzerland. The confusion stems from the 1950s, when the North American distributor of LeCoultre watches was the Long-Ins-Wittnauer Group, which was also responsible for the distribution of Van Constantin timepieces. Collectors have confused this distribution channel with the manufacture of the watches. According to Jaeger-LeCoultre enthusiasts Af Basher, the Galaxy, an upmarket mysterious dial diamond watch, is a collaboration between Van Constantin and LeCoultre for the American market. It features a OE LeCoultre on the front and a OE Van Constantin LeCoultre stamped on the case. The LeCoultre trademark expired in 1985 and was replaced by the Jaeger-LeCoultre trademark. Inventions Since Jaeger-LeCoultre unregistered trademark S founding, the company has produced over 1,242 different calibres, registered approximately 400 patents and created hundreds of inventions. Millionometer, invented by Antoine LeCoultre in 1844, the millionometer was the first instrument in history capable of measuring the micron, allowing for the precise manufacture of watch parts. The invention was never patented, as no such system existed in Switzerland at the time. However, its unique composition was kept a closely guarded secret, used by the company for more than 50 years. It was presented at the Universal Exhibition in Paris in 1900. Keyless watch. In 1847, Antoine invented a keyless watch, the second simple and reliable winding and time-setting system to do without a key after Patek Philippe's version of 1845. Instead, it relied on a small push piece that activated a lever to change over from one function to another. Again, the invention was not patented, allowing other watchmakers to quickly implement the system. LeCoultre Calibre 145. In 1907, the LeCoultre Calibre 145 set the record for the world unregistered trademark S thinnest movement at 1.38 mm thick, appearing in pocket watches that remain to this day the thinnest in their category. From 1907 until the 1960s, the movement was produced in some 400 copies. Grams complications In 1866, for the first time in watchmaking history, LeCoultre and C. began to manufacture calibres with small complications in small series, and in 1891 combined the chronograph and minute repeater complications into a double complication calibre. This subsequently led in the mid-1890s to the production of grams complications, or watches comprising at least 3 classic horological complications, such as a perpetual calendar, chronograph and minute repeater. In 2004, the manufacturer created the Jaeger-LeCoultre, its first grand complication wristwatch, featuring a tourbillon gravitating on 2 axes, along with a perpetual calendar with double retrograde indicators and a running equation of time. In 2006, it released the Reverso Grand Complication Attribution, the first watch in history to be equipped with 3 dials driven by a single movement, and in 2009 the company produced one of the world's most complicated wristwatches, the Hybride Mechanica a Grand Sonnerie with 26 complications. Timepieces Reverso, its name inspired by the Latin oei turnaround euro. The Reverso was created in 1931 as a watch capable of surviving the hard knocks of a polo game. The case can be swiveled in its carrier to protect the watch glass. Considered a classic of Art Deco design, the Reverso is still manufactured today. Duoplane. In 1925, the LeCoultre Calibre 7BF Duoplane was created in an effort to bring together miniaturization and precision. The fashion of the period was for small wristwatches, however small calibres often suffered from a loss of reliability. Created by Henri Rodenet, the technical director of Attribution said. Jaeger, the Duoplane was built on 2 levels hence its name enabling it to maintain a large size balance. The Duoplane was also one of the first gem-set steel watches and, in 1929, its glass was replaced with sapphire crystal, a first in watchmaking. The Duoplane was insured by Lloyd's of London with a special after-sales service, and a damaged movement could be replaced in a few minutes, leading London-based store owner Time to display in its shop window, a OE1 unregistered trademark T have time to finish your cigarette before your watch is reparade Jewellery 101. The duoplane led to the creation in 1929 of the world Euro unregistered trademark S still smallest mechanical movement, the calibre 101, whose 74 original parts weighed a total of approximately 1 gram. The second family of watches equipped with the calibre 101, jewellery 101 a per-mil trier appeared in the 1930s. In 1953, Elizabeth II of England wore a Jaeger-LeCoultre calibre 101 wristwatch for her coronation. Atmos. The Atmos clock is a timepiece of near-perpetual movement needing no human intervention and almost no energy. Invented by Swiss engineer Jean-Luc copyright en route in 1928 in Sentier, the Atmos clock has been the Swiss government Euro unregistered trademark S official gift for important guests since 1950. Patented in 1928, the first version Euro known today as the Atmos 1 Euro was marketed by La Compagnie Gare copyright NAR copyright Rail de Radiologie in 1930. It derives energy from small temperature and atmospheric pressure changes in the environment, and can run for years without human intervention. Wound by a capsule filled with a mixture of temperature-sensitive gases, a 1 degree Celsius fluctuation is enough to store sufficient energy to supply the clock with 2 days autonomy. Its balance, suspended from a steel alloy wire thinner than a hair, performs 2 vibrations per minute. Its gearing requires no lubricant. The Atmos gearing is known for its accuracy. The moon phase model, for example, accumulates a 1-day discrepancy only once every 3,821 years. The patents were subsequently purchased by Jaeger-LeCoultre in France 1936 and in Switzerland in 1937. The company then spent 10 years perfecting the clock before beginning to manufacture it in its current technological form in 1946. In 1988, the Kohler & Rico design agency created a 2-piece limited edition showcase for the clock and, in 2003, the manufacturer released the Atmos Mr. Copyright Reuse, driven by the Jaeger-LeCoultre calibre 583 and comprising 1,460 parts. Memovox. In 1950, the manufacturer released the Memovox, a year after the model Cricket was released by Vulcain. Its striking mechanism could be used as an alarm for waking up, appointments, timetables, etc. The first models were hand-wound and equipped with the Jaeger-LeCoultre calibre 489. In 1956, a Memovox featuring the Jaeger-LeCoultre calibre 815 became the first self-winding alarm watch in history, while shortly thereafter the company marked its 125th anniversary by releasing the Memovox WordTime. In 1959, the Memovox Deep Sea was equipped with a specific alarm to remind divers to begin their ascension, and in 1965, the Memovox Polaris was released with a patented triple case back to optimize the transmission of sound underwater. The latter model would go on to inspire the current Master Compressor and AMVOX lines. It was reproduced in 2008 under the name Memovox Tribute to Polaris. Futuromatic. In 1951, the manufacturer released the Futuromatic, the world's first 100% automatic watch. The calibre 497. Calibre 497 debuted with the Jaeger-LeCoultre Futuromatic and was much more advanced than the earlier JLC 476 and JLC 481. It features a larger balance for improved accuracy and hacking seconds. One unique feature is a lock that holds the swinging weight in place when the mainspring is fully wound. It also features a special 6-hour power reserve, allowing the watch to immediately function when it is put on, rather than requiring it to be wound first. The calibre 497 featured a power reserve indicator along with small seconds located at the unusual position of 300. Calibre 817 was used in the Jaeger-LeCoultre Futuromatic and was a modification of the existing calibre 497. Like that movement, it has a power reserve indicator at 9 o'clock and small seconds 3 o'clock, but in Cal 817 and Cal 837 these are tiny round windows rather than being full subdials. Calibre 827 returned to the full subdial format. Calibres 817, 827, and 837 were produced from 1956 through 1958, with just 3,500 movements made. about 3,000 of Cal 817, 1,000 of Cal 827, and just 500 of Cal 837 were made. Approximately 52,500 examples of caliber 497 were produced between 1951 and 1958. It has been said that the whole project for the Futuramatic almost made the company bankrupt, as they never fully recovered their investment from sales of the Futuramatic series of watches. Geophysic, in honor of the International Geophysical Year in 1958, Jaeger-LeCoultre created a watch protected against magnetic fields, water and shocks. The geophysic chronometer was proposed by longtime employee Jules Carr, copyright Tsar Savary, as a watch intended for scientific bases in Antarctica. The watch was fitted with the Jaeger-LeCoultre caliber 478 BWS and featured 17 jewels, a braguet over coil, a regulating spring on the balance cock, a shock absorber and a gluciger balance. The year of its release, the geophysic was offered to William R. Anderson, the captain of the Nautilus, the first American nuclear submarine to travel between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans via the North Pole. Grand complication: JLC produces some complicated watches, for example the Master Gyrote-Billon one with a spherical tourbillon. The Duomatus for copyright Rote-Billon is equipped with a tourbillon adjustable to the nearest second. The Reverso Ra copyright Par copyright Titian Minutes of Rideau is equipped with a minute repeater shutter as a third face covering one of its two dials. The Master Grand Tradition Grand Complication is equipped with a flying tourbillon that follows the rhythm of celestial phenomena and indicates sidereal time, and a minute repeater comprising cathedral gongs. The Hybrid Mechanica a Grand Sonnery is equipped with gongs capable of playing the entire Big Ben chime. The Reverso Gyrote-Billon II is equipped with a spherical tourbillon principle, a reversible case and a cylindrical balance. The Master Compressor Extreme Lab is oil-free. The Gyrote-Billon I is equipped with a tourbillon evolving in 3 dimensions to compensate for the effects of gravity in all positions. Partnerships UNESCO Jaeger-LeCoultre and the International Herald Tribune have joined forces with UNESCO Euro unregistered trademark S World Heritage Centre in support of the World Heritage Marine Programme. The partnership provides funding and media exposure for one of the World Heritage Committee Euro unregistered trademark S priority programs, leading to the listing of new marine sites and protection measures for the 46 sites already listed. Each year, the program as well as the sites are featured in print and online news articles by the International Herald Tribune, thus offering increased visibility to the partnership. The Responsible Jewelry Council In October 2011, the Responsible Jewelry Council announced that Jaeger-LeCoultre had obtained certification for its commitment to human rights and for meeting the ethical, social and environmental standards established by the RJCA Euro unregistered trademark S member certification system. Aston Martin In 2004, Jaeger-LeCoultre teamed with Aston Martin to launch the Aston Martin Jaeger-LeCoultre Gentleman Euro unregistered trademark S watch, the AMVOX1. The design of the timepiece was inspired by a 70-year historical link between the two companies. The dashboard of the 1930s, 1.5-litre Aston Martin LM Euro a regular class winner in international motorsport a Euro contained instruments created by Jaeger-LeCoultre. Valextra In partnership with the Italian luxury leather goods brand Valextra, Jaeger-LeCoultre began offering a two-tone version of its Lardizo Euro unregistered trademark Reverso watch in 2012. Jaeger-LeCoultre and equestrianism Jaeger-LeCoultre has held close ties with the equestrian sports community since 1931 and counts the Polo Club de Vété as one of its partners. References. External links, official website, Jaeger-LeCoultre. Jaeger-LeCoultre, web creation industry. History of the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso, time and watches. Photograph of Edmond Jaeger and Antoine LeCoultre, Atmos Adam. The History and Calibres Pictures of Jaeger-LeCoultre, Tendance Horlogerie. Richemont acquires Les Manufactures Hologeres SA and the outstanding 40% of manufacture Jaeger-LeCoultre SA, Richemont.